সবাই ভালো আছেন?
জি জি
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So this is the fate of weekdays class. Sunday I will cover up, no problem. So it is now we will try, maybe if required we will take some extra class, no problem. So I have been given some margin. So we will stop the class today 9:30. Don't stretch beyond that. Okay, just half an hour from our earlier schedule. So whatever we will cover today, Sunday we will cover a little bit. I will request Sunday, please try to accommodate. So for me, Saturday, Sunday is the best day. I can stretch, I can comfortably on time, punctually, I can come and give. Weekdays, uncertainties are there. So anyway, so let us start today our Upanishad, our Upadeshamrito. We will start our Upadeshamrito class. Okay. So hope you have read the portion that today we would like to cover, that preface and text one. My voice is clearly audible. Is it? There is no
জি
problem.
জি
Ji
জি
Prabhu
প্রভু।
ji.
Voice is clearly audible. So now I also have in my place better facilities, better things. So everything I have improved. So hopefully class will go a little bit smoother rather than last phase. Because in the during the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu phase, I was actually in transition. I was changing setup and many things were going on. So many difficulties were there, and you tolerated me somehow. So but these things will go more smoother. Okay, so let us start with Mangalacharan, and then we will. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं वन्देऽहं श्रीरूपं सगण रघुनाथं सादयितं सावधूतं सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादा सगण नमों विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपादाय
कृष्णकृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने ते
नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी
नामे प्रचारण निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे
वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा
कृपासिन्धुभैव च
पतितानां
पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु देश गोपिका कांता राधा
राधाकान्ते नमस्ते
भक्तकांचन
गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी
कृष्णानुसुते
यशोदानन्ददेवी
नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मा
बलभद्र सुभद्राय जगन्नाथाय ते नमः।
नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर हरे कृष्ण हरे
कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण बंदर प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
pranam to all the devotees. So let us start. So uh, Upadeshamrito. So What is the meaning of Upadeshamrita? What is the background of Upadeshamrita? What are anybody knows? And all the devotees are requested to switch on their camera and switch off their microphone. Anybody knows the history of Upadeshamrita? Any idea how this Upadeshamrita manifested? Okay, so what happens? One time when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there in Jagannath Puri, he was bathing in the ocean, assisted by his servant Govinda. So, as you know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu many a times consider seeing any water body, he considered as Jamuna. He was in Vrindavan mood. So he was one day he was in super excellent mood, super excellent ecstatic mood, and in that mood, the Acharyas explained that he was in Anubhav. There are various stages of Ashtashatik Vikars. So one stage is Anubhava. And this in that Anubhava, there is a Bachik Anubhava. The Anubhava is there, and in that the person starts speaking something. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on that day was in that mood, and it was like Upadesha Bachiko Anubhava stage. So in that stage, he was instructing some, he was telling some instructions, and Govinda was writing. eh, Govinda was hearing it, remembering it. And Govinda's routine was that every day he would write a diary, keep a diary, write down the pastimes and everything, whatever activities, whatever things he heard from him. So that becomes a Govinda Karcha. Like Sharup Damodar Karcha is there, Govinda's Karcha is also there. So Murari Gupta's Karcha. Karcha means diary. Bengali it is called Karcha. Dinolipi. So, so in that Karcha actually these instructions are available, and these instructions have been have been somehow got has been received by Sri Rupa Goswami. But Rupa Goswami directly did not compile anything on that. Actually. So one day you have heard there was a Digvijay Pandit visited Vrindavan, and he asked Rupa Goswami to uh, he challenged Rupa Goswami for a debate, scriptural debate. That was a culture at that time. But either you accept my challenge of scriptural debate, or you write down, sign that I have been defeated by the Vijay Pandit. Like that. So Rupa Goswami was so much absorbed in ecstatic uh, Krishna consciousness that he hardly cared for this kind of uh, debate. So he wrote down, as you know, and then he has been challenged by Jiva Goswami. Then Jiva Goswami defeated him. That he said that this is out of humility. My spiritual master has accepted your defeat, but actually he is far better than I am his disciple. I can defeat you. So he defeated. But Rupa Goswami did not like this mood of defeating a materialistic, you can say, a so-called logician kind of person. So at that point of time, you know, he has been uh, abandoned. He has been punished. He has been asked. Jiva Goswami has been asked by Sri Rupa Goswami that you leave Vrindavan. You are not eligible to stay in Vrindavan because you have this motives of defeating other. So this is not a Vrindavan mood. You go away. So he was staying in some outskirt of Vrindavan in one cave, and then Sanatana Goswami requested that your one instruction is Jive Daya. Ah, so one Jiva is crying outside Vrindavan. So you please bestow your mercy. So he again invited him back. And at that point of time, he instructed based on this Korcha of Govinda's Korcha. So that Jiva Goswami has heard and compiled and written. Actually, Jiva Goswami has compiled this thing, and then it has, but as he has received it from Rupa Goswami, so credit goes to. So he has given written, and finally he wrote the compiled by Rupa Goswami. So it is actually compilation of Rupa Goswami, but just you can say that note taken by Jiva Goswami and make a book. So like that. So three personalities are involved in manifesting this wonderful book. Upadeshamrita. And this is one of the most important books. Rupa Goswami has given us many books, but this is one of the most important books. Uh, about these, uh, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has written in the glorification of Upadeshamrita. গৌর ভক্ত কণ্ঠহার উপদেশামৃত সার রূপানুগে রূপ নিজে দিলা. Okay, that means Gauranga Gauro Bhakta Kanthaharo. So that means of all these books, this Upadeshamrita is the essence. It is the necklace to be worn around the neck by all devotees of Lord Gaura. Srila Rupa Goswami himself gave it to his own followers, Rupanuge. This is for Rupanugas, not for anyone else. Those who are want to want to want to follow the footstep of Rupa Goswami. So for them only this book has been given. So this is the essence. So he has given many books, but this is the essence. So this is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has glorified in this way. So this is a brief history of Upadeshamrita. Now coming to the outline of overview of this book. The overview you can easily correlate because you have just now completed the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So the various stages of bhakti has been described here. So I will try to find out if I have any slide for you to share. Actually, I have the entire slideshow in Bengali for this entire book. Let's see how much I have for this English part. I have something. So try to share. Yes, I have so many things. Let's see. Okay, so before coming to the overview, let us come to the preface part. What preface is also very important, and we will come to the overview later. So in the preface, we need to understand the importance of Goswami's literature. Okay, so to understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to understand the gift that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give, we need to understand, we can only understand by studying Goswami's literature, by studying the 6 Goswami's literature. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akoti, Tabe Hami Bhujapusri Jugalo Pirati. So this is the thing that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to understand the Jugala Piriti, this is the science, the divine love of Radha and Krishna. To understand that, we need to understand it from the literature given by the Goswamis. And not only the Goswamis, actually I was reading now the 10th canto part. the Rasha Panchodhyay. I was reading, just reading, not studying, just reading, and I was saying that most of the cases in our particular, I don't know, have you gone through it? It is it's just a commentary of Vishwanath Chakraborty Thakur, pages of commentary, nothing else. So Vishwanath Chakraborty Thakur has explained how, and he has taken it from his precedents. So like that we have got. So to understand this, there is no other way because they are the most intimate associate of Radha and Krishna. So what is the mission of what is the purpose of this Upadeshamrita? To understand the science of Lord Krishna and Krishna consciousness. This is the ultimate mission. The most exalted of all activities of Lord Krishna are his pastimes with the gopis. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani, the best of the gopis. So this may appears to us very exalted uh, context, content, but this is what actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give us. So we will not go detail into the glories of Sri Rupa Goswami because this we have covered during studying. I think have I covered about Rupa Goswami during ভক্তি রসামৃত সিন্ধু? সেই সময় আমি ডিটেলসে আলোচনা করেছিলাম না বলেছিলাম যে এটা পড়াবো পরে পরে আলোচনা করব? Can anyone make me remember? I cannot remember exactly. Hare Krishna. হরে কৃষ্ণ।
একটু মনে পড়ছে, মানে পুরোটা ডিটেলসে মনে পড়ছে না।
আচ্ছা,
ওই জন্য
মনে হচ্ছে যেন আমি ডিসকাস করেছি রূপ গোস্বামী সম্বন্ধে অনেকটা ডিসকাশন হয়েছে। হ্যাঁ হয়েছে। I think we have covered, so we will not go much detail about that. So glories of this author is with respect to the Supreme Lord, direct disciples and intimate associate, as we know, they are the Manjuris. With respect to Goswamis, leader of Rupa Goswami is the leader of all six Goswamis because he is the main Manjuri, Rupa Manjuri. With respect to our movement, Krishna conscious movement is conducted under the supervision of Sri Rupa Goswami. So this is the most important lesson we learned, that this is not a concocted movement. This movement is conducted under supervision of Sri Rupa Goswami. So Srila Prabhupada has given this Krishna consciousness, even this name Krishna Bhavanamrito, this word also Srila Rupa Goswami has given to Srila Prabhupada. I think you know that past time one day, and Srila Prabhupada prepared himself for this movement, for starting this movement at Sri Radha Damodar temple. And this Radha Damodar temple means the courtyard where the samadhis of Rupa Goswami is there. And his room where he was contemplating about starting this movement, from his room Srila Prabhupada was always seeing, and many pastimes have been always seeing the samadhi of Srila Rupa Goswami, and he was meditating. So this all we know, that how much important this Rupa Goswami is there, Rupa Goswami's teachings is there. So whatever we are doing in bhakti, the entire Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that is also given by Sri Rupa. So, and that is the basis foundation of our practice. So we can understand that we need to always pray to Sri Rupa Goswami for his blessing, which is coming through the parampara, so that we can actually understand the movement, how it is conducted. It is a divine movement, that's why. It is not a political movement or so-called spiritual movement concocted by some person, by Srila Prabhupada. No, it is not like that. It is coming under parampara. Prabhupada always has given the credit to Sri Rupa Goswami, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yesterday I was hearing a lecture. There also Prabhupada was telling that I have not started any new movement. I am just carry forward, just as a peon. So significance of this book, the purpose is by teaching one to stop serving mind and senses and become a Goswami. So first duty of all spiritualists is to controlling of mind and senses. Without this, no spiritual advancement is possible. This book helps one to promote oneself to Sattva-guna. This makes the path very clear. So now, my question is, this stop serving the mind and senses. Is this a bhakti? Yes.
হরে কৃষ্ণ প্রভুজি। না,
Yes.
এটা ভক্তি নয়। আমরা যখন ভক্তি আশ্রমের সিন্ধু পড়েছিলাম তখন পড়েছিলাম প্রবৃত্তি আর নিবৃত্তি, এই দুটো কথা পড়েছিলাম। তো আমাদের মন সবসময়ই চায় যে কিছু একটা সে করবে, আমরা পুরোপুরি কখনো নিবৃত্তি করতে পারি না। তা ভক্তি কথার অর্থ হচ্ছে আমাদের যে সেন্স গুলো রয়েছে সেটা সবকিছুকে আমরা ভগবানের সেবায় হচ্ছে নিয়োগ করবো, অর্থাৎ যুক্ত বৈরাগ্য, এটাই হচ্ছে ভক্তি।
মানে আমি যেটা জানতে চাইছি যে তার মানে সার্ভিং, আমরা মন এবং ইন্দ্রিয়ের নিয়ন্ত্রণ করা, এই যে কার্যটা,
সেটা হ্যাঁ,
সেটা কি ভক্তি কি ভক্তি না? আমরা যে মন এবং ইন্দ্রিয় নিয়ন্ত্রণ, আমার প্রথম উপদেশামৃতের যে প্রথম শ্লোকটা পড়বো, বাচ বেগম মনসা গ্রহত বেগম, এই যে এগুলো যে বিষয়হেত ধীর, এগুলোকে যে নিয়ন্ত্রণ করবো,
এটাকে আমরা বৈদিক ভক্তির অন্তর্গত বলতে পারি, কন্ট্রোল করা।
হরে কৃষ্ণ প্রভুজি।
ইয়েস।
প্রভুজি, এটাকে আমরা প্রি রিকুইজিটস অফ ভক্তি বলতে পারি। টু অ্যাডভান্স ইন ভক্তি we have to take control on our senses.
Okay, prerequisite of bhakti. Okay, anyone else want to add something?
হরে কৃষ্ণ প্রভু, প্রণাম। প্রভু, এটা ভক্তি, কারণ ভক্তি করতে গেলে আমাদের শরীর, আমাদের যে ইন্দ্রিয়গুলোর বেগ, সেগুলোকে আগে নিয়ন্ত্রণে আনতে হবে, তবেই ভক্তি পথে আমরা এগোতে পারবো। তো এটাই অবশ্যই একটা ভক্তির অঙ্গ।
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Let's see. আমি এটার এখন এই just now I will not give the answer. We will go further and then he will only get the answer. Okay. So, but here the point is, in this Upadeshamrita book, we are studying, we are the instructions are given in this context. Okay, instructions are given that we need to control. Goswami means what? Goswami. Go means senses. Sense means mind and gross senses. Shastrindriyani, Manoshastrindriyani. Okay, and Swami means controller. So that means those who are able to control the mind and senses. First duty of spirituality. Without this spirituality, this book helps one to promote. So, Sattva-guna, to promoting oneself to Sattva-guna. This makes the path very clear. Okay, so this is one objective of this book. Second, by teaching one how to start serving Lord Krishna and become a pure devotee, that is the highest goal. Okay. So, Budhashamrita preface. So here, most important is there is a one sentence Prabhupada has written: advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the followers. So this we will discuss a little bit. What do you mean by this? What do you mean by the attitude of attitude means what? Anybody? What do you mean by attitude?
Acharan.
Sorry?
Acharan, Prabhuji.
Acharan.
Ji.
Acharan is action. Acharan means something which we can see externally. But attitude is not very gross thing, it is a little subtle. Attitude, মনোবৃত্তি, অ্যাটিটিউডের এখানে যেটা বাংলায় অনুবাদ করা হয় মনোবৃত্তি। কৃষ্ণ ভবনামৃততে প্রগতি নির্ভর করে মনোবৃত্তির উপর, সাধকের মনোবৃত্তির উপর। এটা একটা গোল্ডেন স্টেটমেন্ট। প্রভুপাদের প্রত্যেকটা স্টেটমেন্টই গোল্ডেন স্টেটমেন্ট, বাট দিস ইজ সুপার এক্সিলেন্টলি গোল্ডেন স্টেটমেন্ট। ওকে,
মানে আমরা যাই করছি না কেন তাতে আমাদের মনোভাবটা কি,
কি
মানে মনোভাবটা কেমন হবে?
তাহলে কিরকম মনোভাব থাকা উচিত ভক্তিতে? দ্যাট ইজ
ওই
দ্য
কৃষ্ণ, ওই যে একটা পড়েছিলাম, যা কিছু কৃষ্ণে অনুকূল গ্রহণ করব আর যা কিছু প্রতিকূল সেটা বর্জন করব, এটাই কি?
ওকে, এটাও এক ধরনের ভাবে একভাবে বলা। আর কেউ কেউ হাত তুলেন মনে হচ্ছে, বলুন।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु।
হরে কৃষ্ণ।
प्रभु जी, ये भी एक पॉइंट हो सकता है, लाइक व्हेन वी आर डूइंग भक्ति, व्हाई वी आर डूइंग इट एंड फॉर whom वी आर डूइंग इट।
Yes.
मतलब हम क्यों कर रहे हैं और किसके लिए कर रहे हैं। मतलब बहुत बार होता है हम भक्ति करते हैं, हम माला करते हैं बस, बट हमारा जो बिहेवियर है, मतलब द behavior, the attitude which is required to achieve Krishna prema or the love of Krishna, वो attitude missing रहता है। Sometimes we become very duplicit and we don't see in ourselves or the fault finding nature, though we are chanting, though we are serving, but this little subtle things like fault finding nature, criticizing, and then even if we are doing the service, why we are doing the service? For Krishna, for pleasing Krishna, for pleasing the devotees, and this can also be the point.
Yes, this is very close to the point। on मैंने बहुत ही नजदीक किया है आपने। तो this attitude is ideally we should develop this attitude, but further also someone also can add। Shubhankar Prabhu, yes।
So one can also follow the 9 steps of bhakti like Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhanvya, Dhanana, Trinity. By this way, one can advance in Krishna consciousness.
Yes, these are the steps for advancing in Krishna consciousness. That is fine, but during this advancement, what should be the attitude of a sadhaka? I just want to understand what is the attitude of a sadhaka should be there, which is very conducive for bhakti. What is that মানে ভক্ত সুলভ মনোবৃত্তিটা কি, সেটা জানতে চাইছি আমি। A devotional attitude, a devotee's attitude, what is the attitude? And that is actually very important. You all know whatever answer you are giving, you are pointing the closer, but I will consolidate later. Just I want to hear from you.
Sattvic stage.
Sattvic stage, that the mode of
কিভাবে
goodness,
ভগবান
mode of
আর
goodness।
ভগবান ভক্তদের আমি কিভাবে আমরা সেবা করব?
ভক্তদেরকে
ভগবান ভক্তদের আমরা কিভাবে সেবা করব, কিভাবে ভগবানের
সেবা করব। ওকে,
মানে ভক্তদের দাস হয়ে কিভাবে আমরা সেই সার্ভিং অ্যাটিটিউড নিয়ে আমরা কিভাবে সেবা করব?
সার্ভিং অ্যাটিটিউড নিয়ে সেবা করব। ওকে, ভেরি গুড। Someone else, যারা এখনো কেউ বলেননি, anyone who have not spoken, whatever is coming, because this statement is the foundation of the entire Upadeshamrita book. Whatever we will study will be based on this understanding. Okay, so let us, whatever you have told, Rajaya bolechen, it is closer, you are almost close to the point. I will just summarize it. All of you are correct in one sense. See, there are mainly 3 paths in our spiritual transcendentalist. There are 3 paths. What are the 3 paths? Primarily, that path have various other branches, but primarily, according to Bhagavad Gita, what are the 3 paths?
জ্ঞানযোগ, কর্মযোগ আর ভক্তিযোগ।
Exactly. These are the 3 main primary part we have seen from starting of Bhagavad Gita. So this you should be, now you are almost completing the Bhakti Shastri. So now you should be answering, you should answer in technical term also. Okay. So now, what is the attitude of a karma yogi? What is the attitude of a jnana yogi? And how Bhakta Yogi is different from this. Now I'm giving some hints. Can anybody figure it out from this? Now are you now getting what actually I am speaking about attitude, what I mean actually to understand about attitude? What should be the attitude of a bhakta? It is little different, isn't it? It is little different from the karma yogi and jnana yogi, or it is same? What do you think? Is it same, or is it have some difference?
Selfless attitude.
Selfless attitude. Okay, okay. Anyone else? Many selfless attitude. Who are having selfless attitude? Bhaktas are having selfless attitude, and
Bhaktas.
Gyanis are not. Yes, that is also selflessness is one thing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has told that thing, that Nishkam Mukti Siddhi Sakali Ashanto Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Atayava Shanto. Yes, Nishkam is one attitude. That is a part of the attitude. That is one thing. Selflessness. Anything else? Yes.
Prabhuji, surrendering ourselves to Krishna's plan.
Yes. This is the most important thing. This is the most important thing. The attitude means, the surrender means dependence. The attitude, this depends, this dependence to Krishna. In all other path, why there is a mukti siddhi. Mukti. See, we may not be following any karma yoga or jnana yoga part. We are mostly subscribed to bhakti yoga. We are following bhakti yoga path. But what attitude? How far we have developed this attitude of dependence? This will actually qualify us as a devotee. The pure devotee means I am completely depending on Krishna and Krishna's representative. Even though I am failing to conform the prerequisite for performing bhakti, then also I am depending on Krishna. I don't have any other dependence. I don't have anything else. Guru Krishna, that's it. Hari Guru Vaishnav is our only shelter. So this sheltering mood is lacking in karma yogis, in jnana yogis. Dhyana yogis are part of karma yoga, in jnana, part of jnana yogis only, because the jnana yoga section is like that. So karma yogis, they are more depending on their karma. Jnana yogis are more depending on their knowledge, on their practice, on their sadhanas, on their perfections. But Krishna devotee means dependence. But that does not mean that dependency does not mean that I will not do anything. Krishna Anushilanam is there. Bhakti is there. Krishna Anushilanam, practical activity is there. But we don't depend on our own skill and our own perfection. Rather, we depend on Krishna's mercy. Whatever we are doing, actually, we are actually attracting Krishna's mercy. So in bhakti, ideally the equation is 1% is our endeavor and 99% is Krishna's mercy. That is the two finger of the of Damodar pastime. Just remember that. So that is the attitude. Jashoda Ma was trying to bind. We need to try to bind Krishna by our chanting, by our serving, by our everything. Can we bind Krishna? We cannot, until and unless Krishna allow him to get bound by our love. So our endeavor is to attract Krishna's that mercy. That's it. We cannot, what I can say, we cannot demand Krishna's love. See, yogis, they are performing Ashtasiddhis. Gyanis, they are performing to Brahma realization. Karma yogis, they are doing various things. Karma, they are more inclined to karma. They are connected. They are offering some result to Krishna, but they are more focusing on their karma. They are taking they feel that I have done this. I am doing doership is there. Doership mentality is there. So this thing is not there. Krishna Bhaktas are also making so many things. We are also building big temples, but how we are begging to Krishna? Our mood is only begging to Krishna and Krishna's devotees. We are doing everything, but that in that everything, the mood behind is that we are begging to Krishna. That is the attitude. So even though here we are chanting, maybe we are chanting offensive chanting, but how we are overcoming offensive chanting? See here, that's why our mind control is not like the mind control of yogis' mind control. Yogis are also trying to control their mind and senses. We are also trying to control mind, our senses. Now, what is the difference? So if we don't understand, if we don't appreciate this attitude part, then everything, because these particular slokas are also there in Patanjali Yoga Shastra. Similar kind of slokas are there. But how it is different? It is different based on this attitude. We are, while chanting, we are also trying to focus on our mind in the sound vibration, but we are not focusing like a yogis. We are begging to Krishna, Krishna, please allow my mind. Bhaja hure mano Srinanda Nanda. So this is our mood. Yes, obviously Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has given little rough and tough mood that we need to beat our mind with shoes and broom. So, but that is also and having significance. According to my understanding, someday it has come in my mind. I don't know, but I need to check it with some senior devotees. My understanding, this beating with shoes. Shoes means it is like this when we are chanting. We are trying to bring the mind towards Krishna. The mind is a wild mind. So beating the shoes means we are doing shasana. We are shastra, like shastra is there for shastra. Shastra disciplining the mind actually. Disciplining the mind. Our mind is disciplining the mind. So that is the beating of the shoes. And I think shoes beating was in the night. In the morning time we have to broom it. So brooming means by we have to brooming means cleaning the mind. So cleaning the mind means this Chetadarpana Marjana. And disciplining the mind. In the night time we have to discipline the mind because the night time is a mode of ignorance. Mind get indisciplined. So discipline means when like I also got beaten by my mother by my shoes in my childhood. So why my mother has beaten me? To make me disciplined. So for bringing the mind in discipline, so we have to beat. So not physically because mind cannot be. So this is but another mode is in the Manoshikha given by Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. It is like Vajaure Mano, like mind is like a child. So I'm just giving an example, okay, just to understand the attitude. Our attitude is not exactly like yogis. Yes, we obviously take some principle, jato jato nischaliti. So that words we take from the Dhyana Yoga section to apply during chanting. But in that endeavor to bring the mind under control means we don't want to bring under control of ourselves. Rather, we want to bring the control to bring the mind towards Krishna. Okay, that is our point. So here also, Prabhupada will explain how we will able to control the senses by engaging senses in various Krishna conscious activities. Okay, not by like pranayam, dhyana, not like that Ashtanga yoga. Like this. So this is the difference between attitude. We apply. Prabhupada also, if you read On the Way to Krishna, you will see Prabhupada is writing, quoting verse after verse from 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. That is Dhyana Yoga. Okay. Principles he is taking. Just like Ottahara Prashas, we will get the verse. Yuktahara Biharastu, same verse is there in the chapter 6. That is the Yoga Sutra, Dhyana Yoga chapter verse. But there also, in each and every cases, only difference is the attitude. Principles externally it seems like same thing. So, but মনোবৃত্তিটা সম্পূর্ণ আলাদা, and that qualifies us as a bhakta yogi. We have shortcomings, and that's why bhakti school can accommodate anyone. In dhyana yoga, jnana yoga, one must be practitioner, must be a brahmachari or brahmachari. Family person ideally cannot practice, but bhakti school is accommodated because it is by the mercy of Krishna. That's why in Bhagavatam we see from any background, there are so many background, so fallen background, bhakta is there. And Prabhupada has proven this. Kirat Hunanda Polish ko bola Kirat Hunanda Polish Hunando Hun Jati, that is I was recently heard in Mongolia, the Genghis Khan we have read about the history. In Mongolia, there is a devotee community. Not a single preacher has ever gone to Mongolia. Somehow Prabhupada books has reached. I don't know in which language they have studied. But I recently heard from Bhanushahi Maharaj, he was telling in one lecture, they develop a community. They are chanting, they are reading Prabhupada books. Mongolia. See the mercy of Prabhupada. But Dhyana Yogi, this cannot be done. It is very difficult. You have to be qualified with so many things, or restrictions are there. So the difference is attitude. The attitude of the devotee. So I think this thing is clear. Okay, so now, Upadeshamrita constitute the anyone has any question, any doubt about the attitude part? Okay. So this is the most important lesson from preface. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. So this Upadeshamrita, by reading this Upadeshamrita, we can improve our attitude also. What attitude? So this cultivation of attitude, depending on our cultivation of this attitude, we can advance in Krishna. How Srila Prabhupada was successful? Because of his attitude. Because he has this conviction, complete dependence on Guru and Krishna. So until and unless we develop this attitude, we will not able to advance in bhakti. Okay. Okay. So the Upadeshamrita considers the first instruction for the neophytes. Follow this instruction very strictly. Then it will be very easier to make one's life successful. So first instructions are given for the neophytes. So this Upadeshamrita will take from neophyte, from the very primary level to the highest level of Prema Bhakti. So I will, when I will discuss the what we will understand that from Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti to Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti to Bhava Bhakti to Prema Bhakti. This is the progression in there. So this is the nine stages of Bhakti, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava. So this progression also we will see in the book. Okay. So nectar organization helps one to develop through the 9 progressive stages of Bhakti. Each verse of nectar corresponds to a particular theme and a particular stage of Bhakti. So here is the overview. Okay. So from Shraddha to Prem, these 11 verses. So we have started Bhakti Bheda in the eastern division of Upadeshamrita of Bhakti Rasamrita Sangha. And here is the what are the instructions we need to follow at which stage. Okay. So from Shraddha, Shraddha is the text 1 to 3 at the level of Shraddha stage. Text 4 to 6 is Sadhu Sangha. Text 7 is Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, etc. Text 8 is Asakti. Text 9 to 11 is Bhava and Prema. So this is clear. Okay. So text 1, controlling the mind and the senses. Text 2 is 6 things unfavorable for Krishna consciousness. Text 3 is about 6 things favorable for Krishna consciousness. Text 4 is 6 loving exchange between devotees. Text 5 is dealing with different types of devotees. Text 6 is avoiding material outlook in the dealing with the devotees. Text 7 is glories of the holy name. Text 8 is meditation on Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. And text 9 is residence in Radha Kunda and his place. This is a thematic overview, and that was contextual overview. There are various bases of overview. Okay, like the most prominent overview is text 1 to 7. I don't know whether it is there or not. You can note it down. This thing, text 1 to 7 is about Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Text 8 is Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. Text 9 to 11 is Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. This is another overview. Bhakti Vinod Thakur has given another kind of overview based on Madhyam Adhikari, Kanishta Adhikari, and Uttam Adhikari. So we will not go into detail of that. Another thing, so Srila Prabhupada has mentioned in his purport basically interpretations or the commentaries given by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So the commentary given by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, the name of the commentary is Pijusha Varshini Vritti. You can write it now, note down. Pijusha Varshini Vritti, that is by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And as Bhakti Vinod Thakur has given Vritti, Pijusha Varshini Vritti, and also Bhashya is there. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur has given Anuvritti and Anubhashya. Okay. So Bhashya and Vritti, there is things like one is poetic way, another is descriptive way. Okay. So these are the two most important bases of commentary based on which Srila Prabhupada has developed his own commentary. Okay. So yes. So now, if I would like to ask someone, can anyone summarize the attitude part? That not attitude, sorry. What is the purpose of studying Upadeshamrita? In one line, still whatever we have discussed. One line summary. What is the purpose of Upadeshamrita? You can go back to the purpose part once again. So these are the purpose, significance of this book. So from this, what we can understand. One line. Anyone would like to say? Okay, just one line I am telling this. From this Upadeshamrita, you can note down these lines. It is there also in the last section of the preface. It is there to guide our activities that will make us a pure Vaishnavas. That means a Goswamis, and by that we can very easily discharge pure devotional service, and attain Krishna Prema. So this is the purpose of Upadeshamrita. Okay. So these are another kind of summary, that is how to recognize a qualified spiritual master, how to prevent. This is the first part, says how to recognize this qualified spiritual master, how to prevent a spiritual fall down. Text 2. Text 3 is how to make spiritual advancement. Text 4 is how to begin to experience love amongst devotees. Text 5 is how to associate with devotees from perspective of Muddhamadhikari. Text 6 is how to avoid committing offenses while we are associating with devotees. Text 7 is how to completely cure oneself from ignorance by beginning ignorance, that is offenses, by beginning to taste the sweetness of the holy name. That is Ruchi. At the stage of Ruchi. And text 8 is Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, spontaneous devotional service in which the devotee follows the footsteps of the one of the eternal. Raganuga means, you know now, Raganuga. Who are Raganuga Bhaktas? One line definition.
ব্রজবাসীদের পদাঙ্ক অনুসরণ করেন, রাগাত্মিকা ভক্তদের পদাঙ্ক অনুসরণ
Exactly.
করেন।
That's it. Ragatmika Bhaktaদের অনুসরণ করে. To following the footsteps of the Ragatmika Bhaktas. That's it. Bhava Bhakti means ecstatic love, preliminary stage of love of Krishna, and Prema Bhakti is mature love of Krishna. Bhava Bhakti is 9 symptoms. You remember? Question was there. Question এসেছিল?
হ্যাঁ, 9 stages of এসেছিল, ওই শ্রদ্ধা, ওইটা থেকে।
ওটা আসার
হ্যাঁ,
কথা।
ওটা আসেনি।
আসেনি ওটা?
হ্যাঁ, ওইটা এসেছিল, ওই শ্রদ্ধা, ওইটা এসেছিল।
শ্রদ্ধা থেকে এসেছিল না? ভাবভক্তির যে পার্টিকুলার নটা,
ওই 9টা স্টেজ, না ওইটা আসেনি। ভাবভক্তির একটা ছিল না যে 9টা, ওইটা আসেনি, ওটা পড়ে গেছিল।
আচ্ছা।
আচ্ছা প্রভুজি, আমার একটা কোয়েশ্চেন আছে, একটা কোয়েশ্চেনের আনসার আমি পাইনি। সেটা হচ্ছে রাগানুগা ভক্তির তো দুটো ভাগ ছিল, হ্যাঁ, কিন্তু সমানুগা ভক্তির আবার দুটো ভাগ কোথায়? ওই প্রশ্নটার উত্তর আমি পাইনি।
কোনটা?
সমানুগা ভক্তির দুটো ভাগ কোথায়? নেই তো কিছু।
আপনার সাউন্ডটা শুনতে পেলাম না। কোন ভক্তি?
বলছি, আসলে আমার গলাটা বেড়ে গেছে, আমি বলছি না।
ওকে।
রাগানুগা কামানুগা ভক্তির দুটো ভাগ, একটা হচ্ছে স্বকীয়া আর পরকীয়া, হ্যাঁ, আর হচ্ছে সমান্ধ অনুগা। রাগানুগা দুটো ভাগ তো, কামানুগা আর সমান্বনুগা। সেখানে কামানুগা ভক্তির আবার দুটো ভাগ, স্বকীয়া আর পরকীয়া, কিন্তু সমান্ধনুগা ভক্তির দুটো ভাগ কি কি? এইটা একটা প্রশ্ন ছিল, যেটা উত্তর আমি পাইনি। 16 চ্যাপ্টার থেকে ছিল।
ওটা মনে হচ্ছে আপনার ইয়েতে লেখা আছে, দেখবেন আপনাদের যে হ্যান্ডবুক আছে ওটাতে লেখা আছে মানে আপনি কোনটা, আমি এক্স্যাক্টলি আমি এখনো
কেবল
বুঝতে পারলাম।
দুটো ভক্তি আছে না, কামানুগা ভক্তি আর সমান্ধ অনুগা ভক্তি, যেটা রাগানুগা ভক্তির প্রকারভেদ।
হ্যাঁ,
সেখান মধ্যে কামানুগা ভক্তির দুটো ভাগ দেওয়া ছিল, স্বকীয় ভক্তি আর পরকীয়া ভক্তি। একটা হচ্ছে ওই স্বামী স্ত্রীর সম্পর্ক, একটা হচ্ছে
হ্যাঁ,
যে
হ্যাঁ।
গোপী ভাবে, আরেকটা ছিল সমান্ধনুগা ভক্তির আবার দুটো ভাগ দিয়েছিল, সেটা আমি পাইনি 16 চ্যাপ্টার থেকে।
দেখতে হবে যে
আমি প্রশ্নটা আমি পাঠিয়ে দেবো।
পরে আমাকে, হ্যাঁ আমাকে একটু পাঠাবেন, আমি
হ্যাঁ
পরে দেখব।
পাঠিয়ে দেবো, হ্যাঁ।
Okay. So by devotional service only is one elevated to the transcendental planet Goloka Vrindavan, and there is only devotional service for activities of devotional service both in this world and the spiritual world are one and the same. Devotional service does not change. The example of a mango can be given here. If one gets an unripe mango, it is still a mango, and when it is ripened, it remains the same mango, but it has become more tasteful and delicious. Similarly, there is a devotional service performed according to the direction of the spiritual master and the injunction and the regulative principles of Shastra. And there is devotional service in the spiritual world rendered directly in association with the Supreme Person of God. But they are both the same. There is no change. The difference is that one stage is unripe and the stage is ripe, more relation. It is possible to mature in devotional service only in the association of devotees. So this is the progression. Progression means this example I often heard from, I remember from His Holiness Bhakti Sai Maharaj. Bhakti Sai Maharaj always give this example, that kacha aam and paka aam. I still remember Maharaj speaking and giving this example, and he always insisted that you remain in ISKCON. Now you may not experience the sweetness of bhakti because the mango is not yet fully ripened. It is unripe mango. But you stick to the ISKCON tree, definitely your bhakti will be ripened and you will taste and you will go to spiritual world. So Maharaj, each and every lecture, his final conclusion, Jai Srila Prabhupada, and I remember that thing, that sticking to ISKCON, always don't leave ISKCON, don't leave Srila Prabhupada. So that was very important for us to understand that we may not. So yesterday also one senior devotee here, he was also telling that our perfection is not to attain Krishna Prem, maybe. If it is we can possible, that is very good. But our main perfection is to stick to this principle, consistently continue following the instructions. That is enough for us. Krishna will see and Prabhupada will take care. Okay. So we need to only follow whatever Prabhupada has told and Prabhupada's instruction in there, and how we have got this Prabhupada instruction from our spiritual masters, spiritual authorities. That's so. This is the point. Bhakti is same. Here also we are offering flower, in spiritual altar also we will offer the flower. Only the mood is different. The same thing is the attitude. Okay, this is the attitude only. The difference is attitude. Action is same. Krishna Anushranam is there, but attitude is changed. It is intensified. Intensified. Love is intensified. So this is the what? Okay, from animal life to Prema Bhakti. So surrender and association of the devotees, Shraddha and Sadhu Sangha, then Sadhana Bhakti, Anartha Nivritti, then Anartha Nivritti to the Ruchi stage, and then Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. Bitter mango, bitter sour, sour sweet, sweet condensed sweet. ছয় বেগদমি ছয় দোষসদি ছয় গুণ দেহ দাসে ছয় শতসঙ্গ দেহ এ আমারে বসেছি সঙ্গে। So this is the summary of the in first 4 verse. Okay, this ছয় বেগ is talking about this in the first verse, first text 1. ছয় দোষ is the text 2. ছয় গুণ is the text 3. ছয় সৎসঙ্গ is the text 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is the sum that Bhaktivinoda Thakur has. So, introduction part is covered. Vacha begam, manusha krodha begam, uttara begam, jiha pusta begam, sarvang api etan begam, jubishaheta dhira, sarvang api man, utiving shashisha. So a sober person, this is the most important thing. Sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demand, the action of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals, is qualified to make disciples all over the world. So, sober person, we need to become a sober person. Directly, the sober person word is not there in the sloka. Dhira, what is there? Dhira is there. Dhira is there. Vishwa hai to dhira. A sober person can only tolerate. You have to tolerate. Vishwa hai to. Okay. So it is not exactly like nigraha. Okay. It is, we will understand this Vishwa hai to part, we will able to execute successfully by engaging it. Okay. So difference between desire and urge. What is the difference between desire and urge? Desire is wishful, some longingness is there. I want to do this, I want to do that. Okay. Urge is like this. Urge is like urgent need. They are standing outside the washroom. So much pressure is there. So urge is like that. So these are like, I want to become a doctor. I want to become an engineer. I want to become something. So these kind of things are, we have a longing, we have a wish. I want to buy this. Wish list, we have a wish list. But urge means something like urgently we have to respond. So begum is actually that thing. Okay. It is a urge means that urge is, it is pushing us. We cannot tolerate, but we have to tolerate. A push, we'll experience a push. That is called urge. Is that clear? So, are all urges to be tolerated? No. Some urges we should not tolerate. That is urges of nature's call, urges of thirst, urges of sneezing. Ayurveda has told us that we should not tolerate these things. We should take action. What should be tolerated? Urge of speech. Something I want to speak. Urges of mind. Most difficult to control. Urges of anger. Urges of tongue. Urges of belly. And urges of genital. So these are the 6 urges. 6 begum. So sometimes devotees give example that we are married to 6 begum. We are thinking ourselves as a king, but we are married to 6 begum. They are pulling us in 6 directions. I want this, I want this, I want this. So we have to tolerate it. So that is the situation of a Konishta Adhikari. They start understanding, appreciating Krishna consciousness, but they are pushed by 6 begums. So, where is Krishna element in this verse? Where is Krishna? Krishna is not there. Is it there? Krishna is not there. So is it the, so how this is bhakti? How it is becoming a limb of bhakti? See, actually, this is not limb of bhakti. This is actually tapasya, and this is not direct bhakti. What does it mean, bhakti? What do you mean by bhakti? Bhakti, what is the definition of bhakti? Bhakti definition মনে আছে? Hare Krishna. Anybody remember the definition of bhakti?
Bhakti means surrender to Krishna.
ভক্তি রসামৃত সিন্ধু পরীক্ষা
আচ্ছা
দেওয়া।
ভক্তি, আচ্ছা ওইখানে ভক্তি মানে হচ্ছে ভগবানের সেবা, বইতে লেখা ছিল ভক্তি মানে ভগবানের সেবা।
হ্যাঁ, ডেফিনেশনটা কি ভগবানের সেবা মানেটা কি?
ভগবানের প্রীতির জন্য যে সেবা,
হ্যাঁ, ভগবানের,
ভগবানের প্রীতির জন্য
হ্যাঁ,
যে সেবা।
ভগবানের কৃষ্ণানুশীলনম, আনুকূল্যেন কৃষ্ণানুশীলনম, আনুকূল্যেন কৃষ্ণানুশীলনম, অনুশীলনম, কৃষ্ণানুশীলনম ইজ দ্য মেইন ডাইরেক্ট ভক্তি। শ্রবণম, কীর্তনম, বন্দনম, স্মরণম, these are the direct bhakti, 9 limbs of bhakti, main limbs. 64 limbs we have discussed. Okay. But this is not exactly the bhakti. This is actually surrender, sharanagati. Sharanagati is not, I have discussed this thing. Sharanagati is not a anga of bhakti. Sharanagati is the steps of bhakti. This is clarified by Jiva Goswami. Okay. Jiva Goswami has written that this is in Vaishnav Tantra, quoted in Bhakti Sandarbha, Anuchchad. Bhakti Sandarbha means Bhakti Sandarbha written by Jiva Goswami. To attempt to restrain the above 6 urges is not directly a limb of bhakti. Rather, it is like a staircase to ascend to the platform of eligibility through which one may enter the temple of bhakti. It is an aspect of Sharanagati which bestows qualification for bhakti. Just think, we are climbing the staircase of a temple. Is that bhakti? It is not actually the bhakti. It is leading us. It is by climbing the staircase we cannot see Lord, but after climbing, sorry, let me paraphrase my sentence once again. The climbing of the steps in the temple, মন্দিরের সিঁড়ি দিয়ে ওঠার মাধ্যমে ভগবানকে আমরা দেখতে পাবো না, ওঠার সময় দেখতে পাবো না, উঠে গিয়ে পৌঁছানোর পর ভগবানকে দেখতে পাবো। ঠিক আছে, হ্যাঁ, এমনিতে দেখতে গেলে মন্দিরে ভিজিট করছি সেটা একটা ভক্তির অঙ্গ। মন্দিরে এসছি মানে আমি ভগবানকে দেখতে এসছি, ভগবানকে প্রণাম করতে এসছি, ভগবানের কথা শুনতে এসছি, ভগবানের দর্শন নিতে এসছি, বন্দনা করতে এসছি। মন্দিরে গিয়ে আমি, হ্যাঁ, এবার এটাই হচ্ছে কথা, একজন ভিজিটার যখন আসছে সে কিন্তু ভক্তি অঙ্গ কোনো কিছু করছে না, সে কোনো বন্দনা করছে না, সে একটা আসলো দেখলো চলে গেল, কি সুন্দর স্ট্যাচু দেখে চলে গেল, কিন্তু সে স্বীকৃতি নিয়ে চলে গেল, স্বীকৃতি পেল, বিষ্ণু মন্দিরে আসার স্বীকৃতি পেল। একজন ভক্ত যখন যাচ্ছে সে ভগবানের জন্য কিছু নিয়ে যাচ্ছে, কিছু অফার করছে, সে ভগবানকে দেখে আনন্দ পাচ্ছে, সে ভগবানের বন্দনা করছে, কিছু প্রার্থনা দিচ্ছে, প্রার্থনা নিবেদন করছে, সে সেখানে ভক্তদের কাছ থেকে কিছু শ্রবণম করছে, কিছু কীর্তন করছে, সে ভগবানের জন্য সুন্দর কোনো শ্লোক কীর্তন করছে সে। তো এইগুলো হচ্ছে ভক্তি, দিস আর দ্য ভক্তি। আর শরণাগতি is a gateway towards, I mean, I have discussed this thing when I was discussing the 64 items. I don't know, it was a late night class, so you may not be remember properly, and you may not get the time to hear that the recording also. But I have different, I have discussed. So let us read this particular thing. Indriyani jayanti ashu nirahara munishina varjayitatu rasanam nirannasya vardhate. By fasting, learned men quickly bring all the senses except the tongue under control. Because by abstaining from eating, such men are afflicted with an increased desire to gratify the sense of taste. In South America, there is a saying that when the belly is full, the heart is content. Thus, one who is eating sumptuously is jolly, and if one is deprived of proper food, one's appetite becomes even more voracious. An intelligent person, however, does not fall under the control of the tongue, but rather tries to make progress in Krishna consciousness. By accepting the remnants of food offered to Lord Prasadam, one gradually purifies the heart and automatically becomes simple and austere. In this connection, Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur states that the business of the tongue is to gratify itself with the varieties of flavor. But by wandering in the 12 holy forests of Brajamandala, Vrindavan, one can be freed from the 12 flavors of material sense gratification. The five principal divisions of mental relationships are neutral admiration, servitude, friendship, and these are the 12 rashas. You remember? We have discussed 12 rashas, 5 primary rashas, and 7 secondary rashas. মনে আছে কারণ না সব
হ্যাঁ ইয়েস প্রভুজি
পরীক্ষাও দেওয়া
মনে
হয়ে
আছে।
গেছে, সব
না
ভুলে
না
গেছে।
মনে আছে।
আপনারা তো ভালো স্টুডেন্ট, আমার আমি ভুলে যাই, সেজন্য আমি নিজের কথা বলছি আর কি। আমি আপনাদের পড়াতে পড়াতে কিছুটা মনে থাকে। And conjugal love. The 7 subordinate features of mutual relationships are mutual humor, astonishment, chivalry, compassion, anger, greed, originally, these 12 rashas or flavors of relationship are exchanged between the Supreme Person of Godhead and the living entities in the spiritual world. And by wandering in the 12 forests of Vrindavan, one can spiritualize the 12 flavors of personal existence. Thus, one will become a liberated soul, free from all mental desires. If one artificially tries to give up sense gratification, especially that of tongue, the attempt will be a failure. Just once again, I read. If one artificially tries to give sense gratification, especially that of tongue, the attempt will be failure. And in fact, one's desire for sense gratification will increase as a result of artificial deprivation. Only by experiencing real spiritual pleasure in relationship with Krishna can one give up material desire. So this we actually will discuss how the Krishna element is there in the verse, because the import is that we don't control or tolerate these urges, exclusively only that urges. We don't focus on only on controlling the urges. Rather, we engage all the senses in Krishna's service, and that's how we achieve tolerance. So this from this verse, I was remembering that recently. I will stop here. Time is over. Recently, we were. Recently, we. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu.
जी भैया।
Recently, Nirjala Ekadashi was there. And on that day, I have happened to be there in Haridwar. That was the Nirjala camp. Around 2,500 devotees, ISKCON devotees assembled there. 2,500. Okay. And under, there was many devotees, many senior devotees were there. His Holiness, the camp was organized from the Delhi side only, North Indian side. So we were on the bank of Ganga, and we were together. We were chanting 64 rounds. We were chanting together, and hearing, and we were asked to stay, not to sleep in the night also, together in one hall. 2,500 devotees were not there, so many devotees were there, like Bhakti. I don't know whether you have heard his name, maybe you know or not. His Holiness Bhakti Ashray Vaishnav Sai Maharaj was there, and then Rukmini Krishna, His Holiness Bhakti Vedanta Rukmini Krishna Sai Maharaj was there, and there are many other senior sannyasis are there, and along with them, Amoglila Prabhu was also there, and he was actually in charge of making us awake throughout the night. So he was doing the countdown. This is only like I was awake still around 3:30 o'clock. I was awake, fully consciously awake. Then I was feeling so tired, and so everyone was waiting was waiting. What is the Paran time? When the Paran time will come, then we will just start. So I was just remembering this after reading this verse. So one day we tolerated this tongue, urge of tongue is so voracious. We can understand that. One day we have not taken single drop of water and just chanted and heard Krishna Katha. But it is nice. One experience is day. Okay, once in a lifetime we should have such kind of experience, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also wanted during Ekadashi day. It is a Ratri Jagaran. We have to Akhanda Harinam should be there, but we cannot do it practically. But one day I experienced. So Amulya Prabhu was there, and then when the time has come during after Mangalarati, just after that after we completed, we gone to Ganga and take bath and come back for Mangalarati. We did not sleep. I just taken a little bit rest kind of thing, not proper sleep, and then after Mangalarati, he was telling that now Paran, now there is a place of sharbat, drinks. Some drinks were arranged, lemon juice and jaggery juice. So people were just gone and started drinking like anything. Oh, 1 glass, 2 glass, 3 glass, 4 glass. So quenching the thirst. And we can understand like Rasham of Shukonte, where practically we realize that Krishna is the taste of water. Without water, we cannot survive. So that is the thing, sir. So we mitigate these urges by engaging our senses in Krishna Prasad, remembering Krishna. So that's how Krishna is there in this verse. Krishna is there, but not explicitly, implicitly Krishna is there. So I will end here. Any question is there, we can take. Otherwise, we will complete. We'll next little part, rest of the part I will take on Sunday. So I will request all the devotees Sunday kindly make available just for 10-12 week. 10-12 week means for maybe 2.5 months. So this July, I think. When is Ratha Jatra? Date?
16 July, Prabhuji, 16 July
16th July. What
to
is the date?
24th July.
16th is Thursday.
Thursday.
Thursday to Friday. One Friday is Ultarath. Okay. So Ultarath is, I think, evening time. You all will be free evening time. Ultarath is not a problem. Ultarath we can have class. So we will not miss any class.
ওই উইকটা সানডেটায় প্রভু হয়তো হবে না,
Sunday হয়তো off থাকতে পারে, ঠিক আছে।
কারণ সেবা থাকে তো,
Okay, Sunday টা
স্টলে সেবা থাকে।
ফ্রাইডেটা কি থাকবে 17 জুলাই?
তো ওয়ার্কিং আছে, ওয়ার্কিং ডে আছে, বাকিদের কি করে স্যাটারডে সানডে
প্রভুজি আমাদের ক্লাস 26 তারিখে আছে।
Take a poll during that time and we will decide accordingly. No problem. We will take a poll and we will decide accordingly. So I'm just taking a plan mentally. I'm 17th July, 16th July, and 24th July. Okay. No problem. Okay. Thank you so much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Sorry, Mataji.
হরে কৃষ্ণ।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you.